one of the historic racetracks when it comes to open wheel racing in America. It is the host of tonight's race number 5 here on the Velocity Online Racing YouTube channel, partnering with Captain Esports Network as we welcome you in tonight to Long Beach. Yes, we are in California. Beautiful afternoon for racing as we get you ready for the Apex Sage Coaching Grand Prix of Long Beach. It's round 5 of the VOR IndyCar Series, also presented by the Apex Sage Coaching. I am the captain, Chris Scallas. We welcome you in and get you ready for 63 laps of racing as we look at the fountain section over here on this Long Beach circuit. Of course, looking down shoreline, and what a beautiful scene it is. A track that's definitely on my bucket list of tracks to be able to go watch a race at one day, and I know that one day will come, hopefully in the near future. Let's take a look at the track information for tonight. The first time that this series will visit the Long Beach course. It's a little shy of 2 miles, 63 laps around here, about 125 miles. Speed limit is 39. Why not 40? I don't know. That's the person to put the speed limit in here. 26 or so laps on a fuel stint. 6 sets of tires in there. Of course, they'll have to run some red and some black, which is the alternate and prime tires. We'll talk about that right about now. As you see, again, the race information expected 2 stops tonight on the street course in the 63-lap race. 20 incident points, you get DQ'd. 14, you get a penalty if you make it that far somehow without hitting anything. Well, you've done a good job. Let's just put it like that. Let's take a look at the schedule as we're down at round number 5. And, of course, after this week, we take a week off and we head over to the East Coast to Richmond Raceway for round number 6. That'll be on the 5th of March. And from there, Indianapolis for 2 weeks, the Milwaukee Mile, the streets of Detroit, Nashville, and Homestead to finish out the season. So should be a pretty fun event coming up here. Qualifying is wrapping up here right now. And we'll get you ready for the main event in just in a couple of minutes right now. 13 cars on track. As they try to get laps, you're going to hear a lot about turn 11. You just saw it there in the shot. Yes, that's a hairpin corner, about, 40 miles an hour as you turn the wheel through that corner of the track. And should be a pretty wild one. You've already got the start all set up of how that's going to work out. I heard Julian, the league owner, Julian Altena, of course, put out the rules and things for how to handle that, because, of course, they're going to be on the back straightaway when they come to the start, and then they got to go through that hairpin section and then come to the green. So they're actually going to go single file at that point and then come off of the turn 11 section there, and then from there get double file real quickly before the green flag comes out. So it's a whole tricky spot, basically, to get through in this historic track that has been the host of the U.S. Grand Prix in Formula One, and of course been the host of IndyCar racing for over 30 or 40 years now here in Long Beach, and actually last season served as the finale for the IndyCar series. So should be a good one. Should be a entertaining race. The question going to be, first off, who makes it through turn 1, which of course is a left-hander heading towards a fountain, which is a very tight section. And then who makes it through turn 11 in the hairpin, heading back to the front straightaway. So, a reminder, as always, 10 push to pass in the series. We'll be keeping track of that where I'm at in the booth over here. I'm actually, let's see, where am I at? Let's see. I'm actually in the top of the aquarium right there. I'm standing up there. You can't see me waving, but I'm standing up there, I promise. But the racing should be fun, fantastic, and looking forward to seeing what is in store for us in the championship race. And let's show it again real quickly. The standings and where we look at right now in the points. Nicholas Sudik leads by 30 over Alex Van de Sant, and I did not see Nick in the lineup tonight, so that's going to be a major change. Mitchell Riggs there in 3rd. Gavin Sanders, who's also not here, is 4th. Oscar Fredrickson, I don't remember seeing him on the list. He's 5th. Thomas Geisler, I don't see him on the list, so there is a lot of people missing tonight from this event. So we're going to see some major point changes here this evening. Of course, Turn 4 Racing leading the championship points right now by 5 over VOR. LMCgear.com is just 19 behind themselves, and in the Team Race First, only 40 points behind almost. So it's a pretty tight battle there in the points race. All right, cars are going to grid on the back straightaway as you see Cohen Evans show up there ready to rock and roll. It's been a struggle for him, but not tonight, as he is going to be the pole sitter for the Apex Age Coaching Grand Prix of Long Beach. And on his outside will be Julian Altina. Row number 2, Alex Van de Sant, Mitchell Riggs. Sebastian Kinder and James Watson in row number 3, teammates there. Dakota DeMay and Matt Houston, teammates there. Row 4, Nick Sudik is here. He'll start 9th alongside Craig Forsyth. Jim Herrick, Lewis Woodall in row number 6. In the final row tonight, Cameron Boston for Turn 4 Racing. So that's it tonight. Only those 13 cars going to go for the 63 laps here of action at Long Beach. As per usual, we appreciate everybody joining us this evening. Lot of interesting paint schemes also to talk about tonight, as it was announced by Gary Godso, who is one of the admins in the series. He helps run kind of the one that helps with the ideas and stuff of what is going on. Forgive me for a second, just kind of doing some looking around here in the Discord. I remember them talking about, maybe it's up here in the announcements? Yeah, there it is. Okay. All right, you see everybody single file, and this is that hairpin corner right here, turn number 11. They're going to go around it, and then you're going to really quickly double file as they come to the front straightaway and see the green flag as Cohen Evans is on it. Green flag from Long Beach. They made it through turn 1. Well, Cameron Boston has issues. He's on pit road already. He beat the pace car to pit road. Not sure what that's about, if that's a drive-through or something, but Cohen was getting a little hot there. Oh, and issues in the back. It looks like Forsyth. Well, it looks like everybody made it, but maybe it was more of just people slowing down. I saw a bunch of crashed. Oh, you know what? That's right there in the hairpin. That's why. But Alex Van de Sant has issues. He has spun around and overshot the section heading towards the max straightaway. Unfortunate for the one car. Through the turn at 9 and 10 area. There's that hairpin corner. Can everybody survive it? Field's pretty spread out here, so it looks like they are going to make it as Cohen Evans will lead lap 1. Lewis Woodall did not start the race, so 12 cars officially starting. Ran through turn 1 into the fountain section of the track, a very tricky and tight area. It's very hard to go side by side through there. Turn 4 around the arena here at Long Beach. Turn 5, a bumpy section. Akita almost kissed the wall there as Sebastian Kinder. He got pretty close there. Here's where they turn on the shoreline drive. And the right-hander onto the back straightaway. So taking a look at some of the throwbacks here, this first one that we're actually looking at here. Sebastian Kinder running the Kimi Raikkonen. It's his all-time favorite race car driver course. I believe Kimi just hung it up this past season. He did his 2007 championship winning Ferrari F2 2007. Sebastian was all of 6 years old at that time as he won that championship in a late season comeback. So a pretty cool paint scheme there. It's his favorite paint scheme, and that's what he's running tonight there. So shout out to Sebastian Kinder. Let's see if he can put the Ferrari speed behind it. So issues for Craig Forsyth just a minute ago as I was reading the info as he has smashed the outside wall there going into the turn 9 section. Unfortunate deal there for the 27. He's going to be on pit road getting that car fixed. Craig running a throwback to, once again, one of those Forsyth Racing cars from back in the day as he's going to go ahead and tow it here. Unfortunate deal. He didn't tow. He actually let another car go on by, and then come to pit road, you see that left front tire all destroyed. And one of the more trickier pit roads to get onto is you got to hang a quick right, basically. But that is where we stand right now. So, unfortunate deal there for Craig Forsyth. As we go back to live. Of course, our cameras tonight presented by TrackCam 4 Gourmet. You can check them out online at trackcams22.com. As we ride on board with the boss man, Julian Altina. Wrong button. Down the back straightaway. Second gear down to first gear. Let's watch Julian into the final corner here. 27 miles an hour. There you go. How about that one? Julian was fast in both the free practices that were ran Thursday and Friday. There's Dakota DeMay. And that's Craig Forsyth coming off pit road right there. Of course, that blend line is that yellow line right there, so you got to be very careful. It can be very easy to blend early or even be one of the cars that are on track and blend over into that area of pit road. I think it was... Oh, trouble here. Jim Herrick, James Watson. Turn 1 as Herrick goes to pit road now. These guys not really used to being on a street circuit, and unfortunately it bites him. You see Watson already with no front or rear end, so he's got heavy damage on that car. I wonder if he even knows he's got damage. Well, either way, Herrick goes into turn 1 and gets, he just almost gets clobbered by the 39, so add even more damage to that car. Unfortunate deal for both guys. A lot of action going on here early. Now, good news for the fans of the TrackCam 4 Gourmet. They've actually sent me an email a couple days ago. I didn't get the email quick enough, but they do have updates coming to some of the road course tracks, including Long Beach. As I mentioned, wasn't able to get the update for it, but I'll be able to update some cameras on some of the newer road courses that we have on iRacing. So I'm looking forward to that. Pretty good battle starting to shape up here. Nicholas Sudik, 7th position right now, the points leader. Alex Van de Sand had the issue there a few minutes ago, and that's the Chili Mobile, as I like to call it. Nick following Matt Houston right now in that 66 car. That just shows you enough right there of how that corner really can be here at this track. Across the start-finish line. A little bend down towards turn 1. Van de Sand on to push the pass into the inside. Turn 1 going to make the move. Great job by both to allow that pass to happen. A great move by Van de Sand. Probably one of the bigger passing zones on this track. Matt Houston, I'm trying to see what this paint scheme is. It's an interesting one. It's somebody's face there on the side. Oh, into the wall hard back there is Sadiq, the points leader. Cars are dropping like flies right now. Oh, he popped the tire back. Oh, never mind. I was just saying. So Sadiq's got to come to the pit road now and get that car fixed. Let's see what happened to Nick. He got the wall already at that point. Let's back it up a little further here. Oh, he locked the brakes up right there. So he just got in just a little too deep. And very easy to do. This track is very daring in some of the corners to drive pretty deep in. Go back to this fight now. 6th, 7th, 8th positions. Make that 5th, 6th, 7th. Dakota DeMay. Matt Houston, his teammate, and Alex Vandersand, who's trying to work his way back up through the field. Here's your other passing zone, and Alex to the inside. Thinks better of it. Could you imagine like living in an apartment or a townhome or something in this area, and you look down and cars are going 170 mile an hour up a straightaway? You see Vandersand make the pass on Houston. So Alex looking pretty good as Dakota locks that left front up. And up front, we have started to see a battle for the lead shape up here. Julian Alton has started on the prime tires, which has a black sidewall. It is more consistent. And Cohen Evans, who's on the red sidewall tires, those are faster, but wear out a lot quicker, and the battle's starting to shape up here. Julian looking for his first win since the Phoenix race a couple seasons ago. Cohen Evans been even longer, I believe, since he's been to victory lane. Down to 7/10 of a second. Watching this battle here, and also keeping an eye on the Vandersand Dakota DeMay battle. About 10 seconds back from here. Jim Herrick back to pit road, having some issues still on that number 40 car, unfortunately. It looks like now Cohen's starting to stretch it out just a little bit. Maybe made a mistake or something on that lap a couple laps ago that allowed Julian to get closer to him, but he stretched it back to about 0.8 of a second. Back to Alex Van de Sande trying to get around Dakota. Dakota in that Sunset Arctic Games, number 82, gets very close to that outside wall, and it's very easy to do the way this angle is. Let's see if Alex goes push to pass here. He is not right now, but he's already down to 6. So he's got to kind of save him here. Ooh, easy. Oh, Dakota is pushing it with that wall right now. Oh, Matt Houston, a little dee-di-do back there. Of course, every time we run Long Beach, I can't help but think about the St. Pete track and how cool it would be to be on here, which I'm sure will be added on soon. So Mitchell Riggs is about 3.3 seconds back. Is Alex tried to poke out there, not able to make the move. Dakota's doing a great job of defending here. It is not easy when you have a car like Alex Van de Sande on your tail. Both of them on the prime tires. Alex on push to pass here. Let's see if Dakota defends. Gonna have a pretty good run here to turn 1. He's got him. Dakota's gonna yield the spot to him, so Alex Van de Sande up another spot after a good fight there by Dakota DeMay. Let's see how quick, if Alex can get up to Sebastian Kinder, who is the 4th place car there. So I want to talk about Cameron Boston here for a second. Cameron right now is 2 laps down, and I was reading about this paint scheme earlier, and it kind of hit home a little bit to me. I remember sitting on my couch as a 7-year-old back in the early 90s, 6, 7-year-old, and it was back when ESPN had the coverage beforehand of all the F1 races. And I always remember the races would be on, and for some reason, I always pictured where I lived, and we always had a baker's dozen of donuts from Walmart. I would sit there and watch the Grand Prix, and you'd have, of course, Damon Hill, Michael Schumacher in his early days, Rubens Barrichello, Mika Hakkinen, Gerhard Berger, David Coulthard, all these guys. I mean, the legends of this series that you remember from the 90s and stuff. And then I saw this paint scheme today. Damon Hill from the Williams team back in the day in the 90s is what Cameron Boston is running out here tonight. Of course, Sir Frank Williams is passing away about a month or two ago. The Elf sponsorship on there, I'm just reading what Cameron's Austin putting on there. He's kind of thinking what I am here, thinking just such a cool paint scheme back in the early 90s to see Rothman's on that car again. That was back when the Williams-Renault team is what it was known as. Of course, that time you had Ferrari had Gerhard Berger and John Alesi. Let's go off the top of my head here. Again, I'm a 6, 7-year-old remembering all this stuff. It was Damon Hill and David Coulthard on the Williams team. You had Michael Schumacher and It wasn't Rubens. Who was the other driver of the... And now, of course, I forget the darn car, too, now. If we look at the battle up front here, I'm going to have to think about this here for a second. Benetton. The Benetton car was Michael Schumacher and... For the life of me, I cannot remember. So Evans has been able to hold off Julian Alton, the fastest car on the track. Let me just go ahead and put it out there. Is this guy right here, Alex Van de Sande. He is putting laps down. He's still in the 109s. Everybody else is in the 10s and higher. Alex is driving angry right now. And when Alex drives angry, it's actually pretty fun to watch. Shall we take you for a lap here? Alex, once again, the only guy under 110. You hear the car bouncing off the asphalt there underneath the roller coaster ride. That'd be kind of scary. Left-hander on the shoreline. And the good news with this being a 63-lap race, there's still plenty of time for Alex to get back up there and fight with Evans, his teammate there for the lead. He's just got to knock out lap after lap after lap after lap. As you see him already catching the back end here of Sebastian Kinder there. That lap there, 109.5. He is pulling nearly 3/4 of a second on the field right now, which is pretty impressive if you ask me. And as they say in racing, catching's one, passing's another. Took him a little bit to get around Dakota DeMay. How long will it take for him to get around Sebastian here? No push to pass being used here. Let's see if Alex can still draft his way up there, get the run up the straightaway. Takes a peek. As I say, he's going to have to send it if he's going to make a move. Holds off patiently there. So about 5 or 6 laps, we'll see the first round of pit stops. Of course, with it being a 63-lap race, technically all you got to do is go 21 laps, and you can split the race in two, or in 2 of 3s, I'm sorry. Mitchell Riggs here in the Apex Sage Coaching number 81 car, running third, about 3 seconds back. He's been pretty consistent. I think I just saw an awkward moment happen. I looked there on my telemetry. Cohen Evans was on push to pass as he went into the right-hander off the back straightaway. And it was one of those where it blinked green. So I don't know if he meant to hit the push to pass, but he did as he's coming to pit road right now, lap 20. So as I expected, the window is open here for the first pit stops. In a very long pit road. And you see Cohen switching over to the prime tires here for this run. And a good stop for him, 8 seconds flat. And that might trigger these other guys to come to pit road. We'll have to see, or we might just go ahead and see Julian try to run hot laps here and see if he can get the overtake done. There's that blend right there. So Julian becomes the first lead change of the night here in his 31. Let's watch his lap closely and see what he does. He dives into pit road. Let's see if Mitchell comes with him behind him. Mitchell does not, so he'll take the lead here. Sebastian Kinder also on pit road back there behind him. Good stop for Julian, 8.4. Let's see where he comes out compared to Cohen. Here comes Cohen right here. Gonna be tight. There's Julian leaving pit road. He did it. He's gonna be ahead of him. Julian Alton. Oh no, they're gonna beat each other actually. That's a lot closer than I thought it was gonna be. But the cold tires, let's see if Cohen can pounce. Now the next question, can Mitchell Riggs go fast enough to potentially make up some time on these two? Julian trying to break the draft to Cohen's. Julian had a really good turn 11 there. Down to turn 1. Now there is one piece of bad news for Mitchell Riggs, and it's the car behind him. So Van de Zandt looking to catch Riggs, and remember when the pit stop happened, Riggs was 3 seconds off of Julian Alton there and Cohen Evans. So again, next week, we'll take the week off again, and we'll come back and be in Richmond short track, or short oval as they call it in the open wheel series terms, at Richmond Raceway. That'll be in 2 weeks. Looking forward to that race on the first weekend of March. Oh, Mitchell gets a little wide. Alex gonna get the run to the inside here. Alex makes a pass. Mitchell's going to dive it in. And thinks better of it. Decides to give the spot away. Julian, purple lap right there, 108.52. And has built a 2.2 second lead over Cohen Evans. I think Julian's actually more protecting from Alex right now. Oh, Jim Herrick has issues again. He's over in the Larry off the back straightaway there. Looks like he just overshot the corner, so nice job by Jim to save himself there. Alex staying out another lap here. He should be about another lap or two away from pit stops as he's still in the 109s right now. And issues for Mitchell Riggs. He just wrecked. And has jumped the pit road. I thought I heard some noise. And I heard it correctly here. What happened to Mitchell? Oh, he clipped the inside wall, and then it's oh no. Mitchell Riggs clipped the inside wall at the start-finish line and has jumped the pit road. A tough break there. That leaves us down to, what, 6 cars that are left on the lead lap. A lot of attrition going on here. So as I still try to figure out Matt Houston's car. He comes to pit road. I'm sure there's a joke behind this somewhere. I got nothing on that one. I mean, I have a couple guesses, but I'm probably way off. Either way, interesting paint, we'll say tonight. So Dakota DeMay tonight, who's in the 82 car. You might notice as Alex Van de Sande comes to pit road. We'll talk about Dakota here in a second. Let's get the pit stop covered. Alex is in. More than likely will come out somewhere in the P2 area. Well, there's Dakota right there behind him. All right, so there's Dakota. I was starting to talk about it a little bit. And the paint scheme you are actually seeing tonight for him, just making sure it matches up. It looks different on the screen, but he's supposedly running the new McLaren paint scheme. It does look a little different than a photo I see, but hey, who knows? He might have made his own variation of it or something. All right, so Van de Sande did come out third in the end. He is about 6 seconds back from Julian Alta. There's Julian. There's Cohen Evans. There's a lap car, and then there's Alex. So about 6 seconds back here, 28 laps in to this Apex Sage Coaching Grand Prix of Long Beach. On the VOR YouTube channel and the Captain Esports Network. There's Sebastian, 4th position for him. How tough that corner is. Going uphill and turning right. I want to stand correct. It's actually Pine Avenue they're turning on. Shoreline is actually up here on the right. Or Seaside Way, I'm sorry. I don't know the street names in Long Beach. I'm trying, okay? So imagine, like, looking down off these condos right here and being like, yeah, these cars are going like 150 mile an hour. Teammates have met each other here for second. It's amazing how much faster those red tires are of Julian's. And the other question, of course, would be, will the tires fall off? And if so, how quick does these cars catch them? It's great racing. I mean, it's just enjoyable to sit here and watch. These guys just continuously rip laps at about 1:10 around this track. Yeah, I remember Gary Godso, who helps with this league. Of course, he and I have done some broadcasts together. Talked about the old Long Beach street circuit when it came out on iRacing. Of course, I remember the old IndyCar game on PlayStation. And you go down the straightaway there, and you turn right before you turned into turn, or you turned right into turn one, and then left into two, if I remember correctly, and then turn right onto, I think it was this portion of the track right here they're on. And now, of course, you turn left, go around the fountain, and do a couple other things before you go up to the back straightaway. Alex all over the back of Cohen now. And Cohen going to let his teammate go on behind to second place. The Happy Trails Chili Mix. The number one, the champion, the back-to-back champion, Alex Van de Sant, up to second now. Sorry, just got a text on my phone. I'm not here to like spoil things or anything like that, but somebody just telling me about a bad wreck in the Daytona race. I saw a photo of it. It's like, whoa, kind of caught me off guard. So you see Alex is pulled away now. He's about 5 seconds back from Julian. Sebastian Kinder about 10 seconds back, and then Dakota May. And Matt Houston, the last of the 6 cars on the lead lap. Everybody else has pretty much had issues, but they're still out here fighting. There's James Watson in the 7th position. Watson got his car fixed up, doing a solid job, just out here running laps, getting the best track position he can. Looks like Cameron Boston has had issues and is back on pit road, unfortunately for the Damon Hill throwback. Tough break there as we jump over to your point leader entering tonight's race, Nicholas Sadiq, 1 lap down in the 8th spot. Got involved in the wall back a few laps ago over here, right in this section right here, as a matter of fact. Left front caught the wall right there and had to limp it back to pit road. But Nick doing a great job. As we've just passed the halfway point, here he comes to pit road, actually. So, Nick Lucidi coming to pit road. There's Craig Forsyth, who continues to battle himself in the 9th position. Had some issues. Unfortunately, he's a car in his own lap right now. Craig in a Forsyth player's car in a throwback paint that he is running tonight with the LMC gear colors, of course, on the side. As Craig runs in the 9th position right now. I mentioned Cameron Boston on pit road getting damage fixed, and there's Jim Herrick continuing to fight it. 10th position for, make that 11th for him right now. He's about 2 laps back from Cameron, so he could jump him for the next lap or two if he just continues running laps. And that's where we stand right now as we go back to Julian Altena, who's got 3.8 seconds over Alex Van de Sande. Alex now starting to run laps right there with Julian on the 2 different tire sets. And one car's gone off right there. It looks like it is the 27 of Forsyth. Overshot the corner there a little bit. And thankfully there's a runoff area. He's able to go catch it and get back on the track. Sadiq right there on the back bumper of Julian. Not really putting too much pressure on, but he's still there, which can be kind of irritating. Well, for those just joining us tonight, we appreciate you being here with the Velocity Online Racing channel on YouTube. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, please. And you can be a part of multiple races throughout the day, each and every day. As let's go back and take a look at some of the other schedules that are going on right now. Let's start with the Euro schedule. Of course, the Euro Series as they just wrapped up a race at Long Beach earlier this afternoon. And they'll take a week off, and they'll head to the Red Bull Ring. And, of course, following that, they'll hit the bike course at the Speedway and then finish up on the oval of Indianapolis. I was actually trying to see if they had the results on the social media page there for VOR. I might not have seen it really quick enough. So that's going on. And, of course, the 05 series, which is going to be wrapping up here in the near future. They will hit the Nashville Superspeedway, as a matter of fact. And then they'll hit the old Michigan Speedway coming up March 5th and the 12th at Kentucky, Iowa, which is Pikes Peak, quote-unquote, from back in the day in Auto Club Speedway. Alex slowly trimming into Julian's lead. As a matter of fact, now Cohen Evans starting to trim into it a little bit too, as those alternate red tires are starting to fall off very slowly. That's Cohen doing a good job riding into third position right now. All about rhythm. And it's all about just hitting your marks. I mean, you miss your marks by, an inch, and it could be day over. Matt Houston's on pit road getting tires and fuel, and actually he's out of the car, so it looks like Matt's going to be done. Unfortunately for him, oh no, he got back in. Maybe he had a bathroom break or something, I don't know. But a 51-second stop for Matt Houston as he got his car fixed up or whatever. Oh, somebody lost, it looks like Jim Herrick's front wing, unfortunately. And unfortunately, yes, Jim has had issues. Poor guy. Super nice guy. Yeah, Julian's doing really well. Problem is he's got an Alex Van de Sent guy who's really, really fast. Alex on the prime tires. Of course, these guys will be coming to pit road probably in the next 5 laps, 3 to 5 laps, get them back on pit road for the final time and be on their way to the finish. And once again, I don't know what it is about Alex other than it's pure talent to start with, but he has found a way to be the only guy that runs 09s at this part of the race. He did it in the first stint. He's done it again in the second stint, no matter the tires. He just sits here running 08s and 09s the whole entire time. Meanwhile, everybody else is in the 10s. Sebastian Kinder in the Kimi Raikkonen 2007 throwback we talked about a little bit ago. His favorite throwback of all time, so I'm sure it's pretty cool for Sebastian to be driving a car that has the paint of a car that he watched as I think he said a 7-year-old in the story. Oh, Kidder got that curve just a little bit too much. I think Julian's got to change the password on his YouTube or on the VOR YouTube. It's happened to mine a couple times on the actual Captain channel, and I've been able to stop it, I think. I say I think being the key word here. Dakota DeMay back here, 5th position. Just minding his own P's and Q's here as Julian's going to come to pit road here. So the final stop for the leader. And an 8.4 second stop. Question now when Van de Sant comes to pit road. Oh, Julian spins! The mistake. He lights up the tires trying to get it back straightened out. The cold tires unfortunately have bit the 31 and he's going to be mad at himself now. But what he cannot do is add to the mistakes there. He's got to shake it off and keep going. Let's go back here. Julian just caught, I think, too much of the curve here, potentially. He caught it too much there and almost lost it. Yeah, the car just bouncing around. I think it was just low air pressure, and the car just bouncing. Just caused him to lose traction and spin it out. So now, as Luke kind of mentioned in chat, it's all about the one car not screwing up coming to pit road here. Which I still want to ask the $1 million question. I ask this every time I do a broadcast here. Why don't they use that right there for pit road? Just turn right. Instead they put a hole in the wall and you got to cut to the right through the wall. So Alex laying down a 109.68 that time by. And Sebastian Kinder has jumped to second with Cohen Evans going to pit road there. That happened during the replay we were showing of the incident with Julian. So Cohen now, after the pit stop, sits 8 seconds ahead of Julian. after the mistake by the 31. So that just shows you what kind of error it was by the 31. And I'm sure Julian's going to be really kicking himself after this race, saying, hey, I had a shot at this thing. $18 laps to go. So now Alex about 20 seconds up. Looks like the pit road delta is about 44 to 45 seconds. So doing the math right now, it looks like that's still, I mean, just seeing what I'm seeing here, Julian would still end up ahead of Alex, but that doesn't make sense after spinning and losing the time he did on the spin. Now, Julian did run an 08.52 just now, so he is gaining a little bit of time back on the new tires. So we'll have to see how it all plays out. It's going to be very close. As Sebastian comes to pit road. As Kinder rejoins the track, question going to be, when does Alex come to pit road? I mean, he's in the window. Obviously, I'm assuming he's going to swap over to the alternate red tires when he comes to pit road. And Julian once again that time by a 108.96, so he is cutting into the lead. That would be pretty amazing if the 31 could somehow still end up with a lead after spinning out. Now, the common denominator here is both of them actually spun out tonight. Alex spun out early in the race, so they were around lap 1. And then Julian, of course, spun out just a few minutes ago. Alex is driving that thing hard. Those tires are roasted. I know one thing, looking at what I saw, I'm not going to spoil it for those who like to watch racing recorded, but seeing who won the Xfinity race, I'm going to make the comment of I would get every Georgia-born driver into your racing lineups if you play fantasy tomorrow, because I don't know what it is. Anything from Georgia right now is winning. Dakota running in the 5th position right now still. He's made his final stop. The only car on track that is not is Alex Van de Sande, and his teammate Craig Forsyth back here in 9th has not made his final stop, but Craig unfortunately sitting here 3 laps down. He's got about a full lap to make up on James Watson. As we keep track of when Van de Sande will come to pit road, let's take a look again at some of the throwback paint schemes we have tonight. I mentioned the Sebastian Kinder paint scheme just a little bit ago. Of course, his is a Kimi Raikkonen throwback, 2007, in the championship winning car for the Iceman. He was actually 6 years old when he saw that championship be claimed, so a really cool paint scheme there. James Watson, I looked at it for a second, didn't really mention anything of it. My bad, James. Let's go ahead and get this out, though. A really cool one. He's actually running an old Braun GP paint. It's a 2009 winning championship when Braun Racing was still around. It's one of James's favorite liveries to race. A pretty cool paint scheme by Mr. Watson. And then the one I was talking about here just a little bit ago, Cameron Boston's Damon Hill paint scheme from I'm going to say 93 or 94, right in that range. As this paint scheme here, of course, I shared the story a little bit ago, sitting there at home in Florida, eating Walmart donuts every morning, watching F1 racing on ESPN on Sunday mornings. Watching Hill and Coulthard and Schumacher and those guys just go to war out there on those tracks back in the day. What that paint reminds me of. And in Dakota's also is it's more of a Back to the Future type paint for him. He's actually kind of running a tribute to, or not a tribute, but he's kind of honoring the new McLaren paint that's being ran this year. Apparently, it's a orange and blue and black livery with his Sunset Arctic Games name on it. So Alex Van de Sande's going to pit sometime in the next year. His last pit stop is lap 26. We're at lap 51. Here he comes to pit road. He about took the wall down with him going in. So the 31 right now is over in, just turning on the Pine Avenue there onto the right-hander right behind Cohen Evans onto the back straightaway. So this is where we got to watch, where Van de Sande will come out. The 31 up there at the top of the screen. And a 8-second stop for Alex. But again, you still got a very long pit exit here. I think he's gonna easily get the race off pit road. Yeah, there he goes. So Alex Van de Sande out to a 5.5 second lead. Let's see how far it shrinks down to in the end when it's all said and done. And it looks like it's going to be 4.9 seconds when it's all over. Forgive me there for a second. Usually I try not to do it during broadcasts and stuff. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But tonight I really needed to say goodnight to my daughter. She unfortunately has an inner ear infection. It's like one of her first colds that she's ever had. And it's kind of one of those dad moments where I'm like, I feel terrible for her because I'm trying to take care of her and stuff. So I had to go say goodnight to her real quick. So. In a way, you feel kind of lucky because it's like, wow, your daughter made it 3 years old before she really got her first major cold. And, some people out there have children that are going to the hospital every other week with sicknesses. So, in a way, you feel kind of lucky, but at the same time, it's like, kind of hits home. Van der Sande on the push to pass. He's got 7.5 seconds. He is just driving away right now from Cohen Evans. And it goes purple on him, 107.5. He's pulling his inner Isaac Morris right now. Nobody's ran a 107 since qualifying, so that just shows you how fast Alex went on that lap. Luke, does that qualify for a Red Bull lap? I mean, he's actually running the whole run, so I guess it wouldn't be, right? There's Cohen Evans trying to hold off Julian. Julian right now all of 2 100ths faster than Cohen last time by. Well, that time by, Alex went a little slower, 107.69. More importantly here, Julian 0.3 faster than Cohen that time. So he's slowly nipping into the second place. Fair enough. Go pit it like 2 to go. He's getting everything out of it. Of course, again, the first visit to this track in league history. As a matter of fact, this track's only been on iRacing for a little over a year because they had the, tech track, I guess we'll call it, was on for a while. And then they brought the full edition on afterwards. Let's go through real quickly the cars that unfortunately have either had drama or... Well, that car definitely has had drama. Look at the left side missing on it. Matt Houston. There was somebody's face on the car, and I have no clue whose. As he lets Alex go by. But that face is completely missing off the left side of his car right now. Nick Sadiq, the points leader entering tonight's race. It's going to be... I think he'll hold on to the lead, but it's going to be very tight as they get ready for Richmond in 2 weeks. Right behind him, Craig Forsyth, 8th position for Craig. As I mentioned, the 27 car. I think that's a little bit of a player's throwback there on the 27 car. And Cameron Boston right now, 9th position for him. And then the final car on track, the 10th position. Well, he was on track. James Watson just actually, I think, went to pit road. Either that or he went off a scenic route or something, which is entirely possible. Five laps to go. Of course, you do not want to make a mistake right now. And if you're Alex, you got the fastest lap. You pretty much got it locked up because of the tires and how they're degrading and stuff throughout the run. I think at this point, I don't want to say back off, because I've never been a full believer in backing off, because I've always learned when you do that, you kind of fall out of rhythm. So maybe he's going to pace himself at just a comfortable pace and just bring her home here in the next 4 laps. And I think there's been issues with Julian Altina, because now all of a sudden he has fallen some 5 seconds back from Cohen Evans. I don't see anything on my timing and scoring. It says something happened, but obviously when you were 2.5 seconds back and now you're 5 back, something happened. And I'm sure Julian's going to be disappointed with a 3rd place finish if he can run these last couple laps. So again, next week we'll be off, and then the following week it's Richmond. And then we'll come back for a doubleheader in Indianapolis with the bike course. And then, of course, the main race is Matt Houston's gone around over here off turn 11, off the hairpin. Does a good job respectfully joining back on the track, not interrupting any of the drivers' race. Two laps to go. As Van de Sande going to bring it off turn 11, the hairpin corner, and come to the white flag final lap. And just shy of 2 miles around this Long Beach course. And another victory. Makes it through the fountain section. Oh, get off my screen. Of course, entering tonight, we had our first repeat winner, Nicholas Sudik, recently. And that was at Motegi 2 weeks ago. And looks like tonight, unless something really weird happens in the next half mile or so, we're on our way to seeing our second multi-time winner on the season. Except for Alex this time, it's going to put him a pretty good distance closer to that championship and a three-peat potentially, as Van de Sande comes back to win at Long Beach. Jim Herrick's going to be disappointed in himself, but he's going to be proud of his team tonight. A 1-2 finish for LMC Gear Racing, and Julian Altena is going to be the one that's probably angry and disappointed more in himself probably, as he's going to come by third after being the fastest in the first two practices. And Sebastian Kinder going to come off of the final corner and bring that 07 championship paint scheme a fourth place finish. Good job for Sebastian. And the final car that'll finish on the lead lap tonight, Dakota DeMay, will finish in the fifth spot. So Dakota's going to be pretty happy with that one. And there's some Zanardi burnouts. And I think those donuts are over in the section he spun out in earlier in the race. As a matter of fact, this is when it happened. I said this is when it happened. If I could get it to show. Actually overshoots the corner right there. So it wasn't the same section, but that was where the comeback went from there, and he just started picking them off one by one by one all the way to victory lane here tonight. Congratulations to Alex Van de Sande, the winner tonight here in Long Beach, as he wins by 18 seconds over Cohen Evans. Imagine that, 18 seconds. He was about 10 to 12 seconds behind when that off-track happened there. Julian Altena 25 seconds back in third. Sebastian Kinder fourth. Dakota DeMay fifth. Houston finishes sixth. Craig Forsyth seventh. Nicholas Sudik eighth. Cameron Boston, James Watson, your top 10. Herrick, Riggs, and Lewis Woodall, unfortunately, having issues this evening in Long Beach. And we go jump into the VOR Discord channel, and we'll talk with our drivers that finished up here in the top three. They're sitting there waiting on me. Let's bring in Julian first, who finishes in the third position. Julian, I can only imagine probably some disappointment on that spin. Now, would you have won this race? It's going to be close, but unfortunately, the spin happened, and it really took you out of contention for the win. I assume there's disappointment there, or are you happy with a third?
Nah, I wouldn't really have won anyway. Alex was so fast at the end there. He wasn't really filling up the tank. He had fresh reds and low fuel, so I wouldn't have won anyway, because I did have push to pass, but I'm sure he did too. So yeah, happy with third place. Probably should have been second, but oh well, just a mistake that happens. So just lost concentration on the cold tires on that curb of, I believe it was turn 6. I got the
Mhm.
track map right here. It wasn't turn 6, it was turn 5. So yeah, that was it. Just lost concentration there. So not much you can really do when you have cold tires. So the pressures aren't really up yet. So the car just bounced off it and kind of looked me around. Tried to recover as much time as possible there at the end because I knew it was going to be tight with Cohen, but I really ate up my reds at the end there, so couldn't really do much. And I had a few lockups as well, so couldn't really challenge anymore for second. So good job to the LMC boys for a 1-2. Yeah, a little bit disappointed, but I wouldn't have won anyway, so
Fair enough.
it's fine.
It seemed like at INSA you mentioned the low tire pressure and stuff. Seemed like the car maybe bottomed out over the curve too.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So yeah.
Unfortunate, but still a good third place finish. I know you've been slowly carrying that momentum. You were up there in the points battle. You get another week off before you go to Richmond, which I think could really throw a loop into this championship run.
Yeah, I'm probably not gonna make Richmond. Actually,
Uh-oh.
it's the first time ever I'm gonna miss a VOR race. So yeah, well, probably gonna be the first time. It's not 100% sure yet, but it's looking likely.
Is this when I go ahead and speak for the fans that are like, wait a minute, you run the league, how would you miss your own scheduled race? But I'm going to leave that alone and go from there. Things happen. We all have life.
Would you believe it if I told you that I'm gonna socialize in 2 weeks from now?
Well, still,
That's what I'm gonna do.
fair enough. I'm just going to leave that alone, but fair enough. But still, great effort tonight. Congratulations on a top 3, and shout out to whoever you like to.
Yeah, thanks to the team VOR. I know most of them didn't make it. Actually, I was the only one, I think. But
Yeah.
still, want to thank them all. I know Oscar's had a tough night. I think he actually overslept as well. I didn't see anything
I hate
from
when
him,
that
so that's
happens.
probably why. Yeah, I mean, it's not easy from the EU, so I don't really blame him. So unfortunate that they couldn't make it, but I want to thank them anyway. I want to thank you. Want to thank everybody that turned out, and I want to thank Joyce as well. I don't know if she was watching, but yeah, hi to you. If you're sleeping, good night. But, that hey. Sorry, man. But anyway, that's about it, really. So, yeah, that's it.
We could pick on each other. It's okay. There you go.
Yeah, Dollar General.
Yes, I was waiting on the Dollar General plug. There you go.
Cheap joke. Cheap joke.
Great job tonight finishing third.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir. Julian Alton is signing autographs at the Long Beach DG down the road. Anyways, so let's get our second place finisher, Cohen Evans, who really needed this run tonight. Great job, Cohen. Great second place. I do got to ask, for somebody who I've always felt has been one of the better road course drivers. I know you've had your struggles throughout. It's got to feel good to get a finish like this at a tough circuit like this.
Yeah, felt really good. It's a super technical track, so you gotta be patient the whole time. I don't even know, be patient and just stay on the wall. That's really the whole point of this track, is not getting in the wall and not getting any damage and just survival.
Now I got to say this too. I thought about this a few minutes ago, and when you have a guy that unfortunately makes a mistake as early as Alex did around lap 5, and he goes and overshoots the corner to the back straightaway and loses all the track position, falls almost 10 to 12 seconds back, and then by the end of the race, he's 15 seconds ahead of you. Is that disheartening?
A little bit. I mean, he's fast. I get that. So I was a little surprised when he was like 2 seconds behind me after my first pit stop. I'm like, what? I thought he was like out of the race or something. So it's a little surprising.
Right. I mean, it's just the kind of things. It's like you feel like you got the confidence in yourself, and then it's like, what in the world, I just always felt like that would probably bother somebody that's really fast like you. But still, man, it's a great effort. Your team 1-2 finish. That's got to make you proud.
Yeah, sure does. Alex and I worked together a little bit in that second stint. I let him go. I thought he had the better chance of getting ahead and passing Julian there, so I let him by. He was faster than me anyway, so I just let him have it. But overall, a great effort from Alex, everyone on the team.
Great job tonight, man. Congratulations. Shout out to whoever you like to, buddy.
Yeah, shout out Alex, all the teammates, Craig, everyone else. Yeah.
And great job on your end. Congratulations. Cohen Evans finishing in the second position. Let's bring up Alex Van de Sande, who ends up winning this race. Alex, I got to ask, obviously, congratulations first off on the win, but what really caught my attention was the long run. And yes, I know there was no caution, but towards the end of each stint, how you were able to still pull off laps in the 09s while everybody else is in the low to mid 10s and even into the 11s and 12s. How were you doing that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was just tire advantage. I pit later than most of the field both times. And then, yeah, with the primary tires, they come back to you at the end of the stint with most setups and most tracks. And that was absolutely the case here. The speed you gain from the fuel burning off catches up with the tires heating up because the tire wear and heat plateaus, and the car just gets faster in the second half of the run. So I just was careful to kind of take care of the tires at the beginning. I kind of had to go at the start, of course, drive up through the field. But especially the second stint, I just took care of the tires, and then that kept the pace level throughout the run until it started picking up again. And so, yeah, that gained me a ton of time. I think people just chose the wrong tire there, honestly. With how late in the afternoon the race started in Sim, I mean, it was obvious the track was going to cool down a lot. If you could get it down to just a short red run at the end, you'd have fast primary tires at the end of your runs, and then an extremely fast car right at the end of the race, which is what happened. So I know Julian had his issue, but even then, if he had stayed ahead of me in the pit cycle, he wouldn't have been able to defend just because I would have so much more pace on the fresh alternates. So. Yeah, happy with that pace and the way that race turned out. Kind of got lucky there.
Yeah, I got to ask, obviously, what happened lap 5 there. Just was it low tire pressure maybe still because you were on the primes, I think, at that moment. Was it still the tire pressure build up, or did you just miss the corner?
No, lap 1, I just missed the corner. And
okay.
I bailed out of it. I knew that corner, I actually thought about bailing out of it a couple other times throughout the race just because it's so, if you just miss the braking a little bit or you get a little wiggle as you apply the brakes, you're going in the wall. So I knew lap 1, cold tires, it just wasn't worth it. Wasn't a big field, so I didn't lose that much time. I didn't have to wait up at all, and worked out, got lucky, especially not hitting anything or anybody.
Yeah, because Sadiq a few laps later did the same thing and actually caught the wall. It looked like just the way that downhill corner is there. It's just so easy to lock up the brakes, and it's like if you lock it up for a split second, you're done.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's a blind corner. It's a later turn-in than you think. So, but you start trying to push it later, and eventually you go too far, and there's just no grip out there, and you slide into the tire barriers. And those barriers, they're supposed to be soft, but they'll rip the entire corner of your car off. It's tough. So
iRacing really don't know what the word soft is. No. So I got to ask real quickly, the battle you had with Dakota mid-race, that for 5th there, it was like most of your passes were fairly simple, and then you got to him. And it just seemed like you were unable to get that run on him.
Yeah, it's so hard here. I was lucky that it was a small field because it was less cars to pass.
Right.
But especially once the tire, you're in the middle of the stint, tires are getting really hot, and you just need to set up that run, especially out of the hairpin. But it's so hard to do because it's such a slow corner. You can't really take an alternate line because there isn't an alternate line. And then, the other opportunity is off the backstretch, but you have that super tight corner. Again, there's one line through that. You just have to get a better run. They need to make a mistake, and it's just really difficult to set it up here. So eventually it worked. I was running out of push to pass, too. I only had 3 by halfway. So I had to be kind of conservative there with them at that point.
Luckily, I can't remember the gentleman's name, or else I'd keep hold of him, but I can't remember his name. Anyways, great job. Congratulations on the win, and shout out to whoever you like to.
Big thanks, as always, to my usual sponsors, Happy Trails Chili Company, lmcgear.com, Racers Broadcasting, and that's all.
There you go, man. Congratulations. Another win and the notch column and a little bit closer in the points lead.
Yep, thanks.
Yeah, you too, buddy. Alex Van de Sande, winner tonight here in Long Beach. I can't remember the driver's name. Where's Luke at when I need him? Where's the driver that always used up all the push-to-passes in the first 5 laps? Me and Gary joked around and always called it that term. But anyways, all right. Well, that was awesome. Good race there at Long Beach. And, again, we'll take another week off here and come back. I'm realizing the window air conditioning's there at that apartment. We'll come back in 2 weeks and hit Richmond Raceway, the short track 3/4 miler there in Virginia, for some short oval racing here in the VOR Apex Sage Coaching IndyCar Series. So I appreciate Isaac Morris and Apex Sage for all the hard work that he does, of course, teaching these drivers to continue to get better out here on the track. But appreciate the viewers watching tonight, of course, on the VOR channel. But we'll be back here at the beginning of March for Richmond. And now, One Wheel Power, it was a driver that it's over in the other I can't remember his name. Maybe Julian can remember. Who's the driver that he uses push to passes more than my wife uses coupons at a grocery store? I mean, it's like, I can't remember his name. But anyways, needless to say, we move on to Richmond in 2 weeks. You guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. Stay warm, enjoy the racing, and always remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya!